Good morning, everyone. Today we are having our lesson, English First Additional Language, FAT, Grade 12, Term 2. We are going to focus on literature. Firstly, we should know what is a literature. A literature is a short story or a novel or poetry, film or drama. So today we are going to focus only on short story. So to make it easier, let us first understand what is a short story. And then what we have here is a short story is a work of short narrative prose that is usually centered around one single event. It is limited in scope and has an introduction, body, and conclusion. Although a short story has much more in common with a novel, it is written with much greater precision. You will often be asked to write a literary analysis, and an analysis of a short story requires basic knowledge of literary elements. Do you understand? So, before you answer a short story, you should understand the following guides to questions that may help you. And then you will have elements that will help you to answer a short story. After reading a short story, understanding a short story, you need to understand the 5 elements. The first element is setting. Setting is description of where and when the story took place. In a short story, there are fewer settings compared to a novel because short story is short. So the time is more limited. Ask yourself the following questions when you are looking at the setting. How is the setting created in that particular short story? Consider the geography, the weather, time of day, social condition, and etc. in that short story. In the setting of that short story. What role does setting play in the story? It is very important to understand the important part of the plot or theme. Or is the plot just a backdrop against which the action takes place? This is what you should understand in that short story. Okay. And then, now after that, you should know when was the story written. Does it take place in the present, in the past, or in the future? How does the time period affect their language? How does the time period affect their atmosphere? How does the time period affect the social circumstances of a short story? And then after that, we'll have the style. The style of a short story is the writing techniques. How is it writing? Is it written in using a jargon, informal language? Or was it written for instruction, or was it written in a formal way? Okay. Number 3, we have the characterization. Characterization deals with how the characters in the story are described. In short stories, there are usually fewer characters required than to a novel compared to that of a novel. They usually focus on one central character or protagonist. Now, when you are doing the story reading that we're going to do today, I want you to check who is the main character in that short story when you are busy reading. Are the main character or other character described through dialogue? Is it a dialogue way or by the way they speak in a dialect or a slang, for instance? Like I just said, the jargon is slang. Has the author describe the characters by physical appearance. For instance, in this story, you'll find it very interesting when you have to consider the physical appearance, thoughts and feelings, and interaction, the way they act towards others. You'll find it very interesting. It's very relevant for this short story. Are they static? Meaning, are they flat characters who do not change, or are they dynamic? Those dynamic, they are round. We call them the round characters who do change. Okay, what type of characters are they in that short story? What quality stands out in that short story? Are they stereotypes, the characters in that short story? Are their characters believable? When you read, are they believable? Okay, so now we're going to have the plot and storyline. All right, the plot and storyline is the action and events taking place in that short story. Okay, all right, and then again we'll have what? The theme, the main or recurrent idea in that short story. It could also be a lesson to learn in that short story. Okay, and then now let's check here on the main idea in that story. So the main idea or lesson or the main message in that short story may be an abstract idea about the human condition, main abstract area about the society or life. So I want you to ask yourself, how is the theme expressed in the short story that I'm reading? Are any elements repeated and therefore suggest a theme in that short story? Is there more than one theme in that short story? Like, remember, the theme is the main or recurrent idea. So it could also be a lesson that leads you the moral of the story in that main area of what? Of a short story. So we'll be having a very interesting topic today. I mean, the title of the short story, which is The Girl Who Can. The Girl Who Can is written by Ama-Ata Aido, but the book is compiled by Brian Walter, and the name of the book is Changes, an anthology of short stories, compiled by Brian Walter, an anthology. Changes, an anthology of short stories. Okay, so basically what I want you guys to do today is, during your spare time or when you get time today, I want you to read a short story from the book called Changes, an Anthology of Short Stories. You will find the short story in page 141. Read that book using all the settings that we had here. Don't forget to use using the elements. Don't forget to have the setting, the style, the characters, the plot or storyline, and the theme in that short story. And then when you have them together, and then you'll be able to answer the questions that we are going to provide you tomorrow with. Okay, thank you very much. Remember that readers are what we call what? Leaders. Keep on reading and improve your thinking capacity. Thank you.